Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Rayne Yoga. Today we are hiking Weedon Island Preserve. It's a prehistoric preserve and I'll explain why shortly, but our conversation video is also on what Spirit wants us to know and what we choose to see through our signs and synchronicities. So here, just to speak to Weedon Island a little bit, people first entered Florida between 12,000 and 14,000 years ago. By 3,000 years ago, people began living in the area of Weedon Island. So archaeologists refer to this time as the Minnesota period. The lifestyle of the Minnesota people changed over the time as populations increased and small coastal villages began to grow into larger settlements. So it's a really massive preserve and there's lots of hiking. You can take kayaks out, paddle boards out, there's a boat ramp. They have this whole history center that shows that they had actually found and dug up an old prehistoric canoe. So this canoe is over 1,100 years old. And it was found at the shoreline of Old Tampa Bay, nearly 40 feet long. So Native Americans must have used this canoe for open water travel and fishing. So it's really fascinating. I highly recommend going to check it out. And so from here, as we continue to hike and walk and take in these beautiful scenes, the birds and everything, I just wanted to tap into our spirit guides and how to decipher our messages. So once we become aware of signs and synchronicities, we want to see them all the time. We look for them to make sure that we're on the right path, seeing that 111 or 222, knowing we are following our soul's alignment. We look for answers to our questions and prayers through the eagle that passes, the snake that shows, the moth that dies after giving birth. What we don't realize is our answers are already within our body's wisdom. Sometimes we read into the signs the way our ego or mind wants us to. We turn what we see into a reason to make the choices we do. Sometimes it's a good thing, sometimes it isn't. So how do we remove the ego's push on what we want to see? We choose to notice. Notice if it's the mind or the heart speaking through the message. What is it your body's feeling from what's being witnessed? Maybe you take in the message, close your eyes, place your hands over your heart, and just listen and breathe. We know the collective meaning of some of these things. The eagle represents freedom, seeing things from a higher perspective, third eye opening. The snake shedding the old, transformation, being aware of people's intentions around you. The moth, death and rebirth, fresh starts, new beginnings, shadow work, and transformation. But what does your heart and soul tell you the message is when you receive it? The collective message might not always be your message. Maybe it's where you saw the eagle or the color of the moth or snake that means something totally different to you. We shouldn't always rely on Google to tell us our message because our soul knows deep down. So choose to interpret your messages from the body, from the soul, from the heart. Not what the ego wants you to see. The rational mind always wants to dominate. Allow yourself to feel into it more. Witness it more deeply. Though, let's be honest, no matter what we think, feel, or interpret from a message to mean, no matter what choice or decision we make off of what we see, there is no wrong way. Find solace in that knowing. Find release and freedom in it. Know that even if you completely read a message wrong and you make the quote-unquote wrong choice, that there is no wrong choice. the universe will simply course correct and put you back on one way or the other where you should be. Maybe that knowing allows you to take a deep sigh of relief right now. Don't put so much egoic pressure on yourself to get it right. You are human. You are meant to live this human experience your way, whatever way that means to you. And so it is. So really feel into that for a moment. Take a couple of deep breaths with me. Full inhale. Audible exhale. Again, deep inhale. Audible exhale. It's so hard to not want to read into these signs that we see or experience. While I was here at Weedon Island, I had a dark colored bird, I'm not sure if it was black or not, fly right in front of my face. Like I felt the wings and the breeze directly fly in front of me. And I could read so many things into that. It could be good, it could be bad. Sometimes when you Google stuff, you find out it's bad luck or whatever it might mean. For me in that moment, it made me feel like someone I love deeply that's no longer in my life was there with me, with my mom who's here in this video. And it was a little like, hello, I am here. I'm always here. So don't always look up what you're seeing, feel into it, and let that be your guide. Know deep in your heart what the meaning is. So we're ending this video up at the top of this lookout tower. It was absolutely stunning. The amount of birds at this preserve was breathtaking. You really felt connected with the marsh, with the historic history. So I highly recommend going to check it out when you can. Sending you all so much love, so much light. Namaste.